Hey, what's up all my COVID followers? Guess what? It's another Guzman's Random Review. Alright guys, like I said, you know what? No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry, I'm not wearing the mask while I'm doing it. Not gonna happen. We're more than 6 feet apart and I'm not coughing on you or anything. Just let's get to the video. Okay, so this video, I wanna thank a couple of people first before I get started. So this video couldn't be possible without Angel. I found this guy on the WRX CVT forum. I was looking around and I found this awesome deal on the Mishimoto CVT cooler. Gave me the deal, I took it, got it to my house within a couple of days, so this is gonna be a quick, it's gonna be a nice install on the CVT cooler for the 2016 WRX, so thank you, Angel. And the other person I wanna thank is the guy who runs Boosted and Shutter. I'm gonna have a link in the description below of the awesome install video of the Mishimoto CVT cooler. He has a in-depth video on every part tool you're gonna need. So if this video doesn't do it for you or doesn't give you all the information you're looking for, I'm gonna have a link in the description so you guys can check it out. And his website, his channel is awesome. He has all these great deep dive detail information on the WRX and CVT and stuff like that. Here is the CVT cooler, still in the packaging. And again, he used it and kept it in great condition. So WRX family, hey, if you're gonna resell something, keep all the boxes and everything, keep it in great condition if you can, and trust it. And definitely he's trusted. So here's all the parts. He also taped everything off so that when I put my new fluid in here, it's gonna be clean. It's going to be mounted in the front of the engine bay area, right in front of the radiator. The first step we gotta do is take off the bumper, and then the next step is gonna be to take off the top mount intercooler. If you have a front mount intercooler, it's not gonna go in the front, it's gonna go where the top mount intercooler used to go, and there are brackets online somewhere where you can find that to install this in that location. You're also gonna need to do something else that this kit does not come with. You're gonna need to go to your local Subaru dealership and buy 1 quart of CVT transmission fluid. You can't get it off the shelf. Call up your local Subaru parts shop, ask them for a quart, bring an empty jug of some sort, and there you go. There are 3 ways to install this. The way the Mishimoto tells you, which is not that great, is just 2 straight lines going from your stock CVT cooler to the Mishimoto cooler, which constantly runs. I'm going actually with the best alternative, which is the thermostat version. And I will have a link in the description below on where you can get the exact parts that you need, just like from Boosted and Shutter and everybody else who's made a video just like this. This is the thermostat all put together. Got a bracket, this bracket with the 2 pieces that you buy, this is how it looks put together with the little tubes, and then you have your different arrows in which way the flow of fluid will go. Basically, once the CVT fluid gets up to a certain temperature, this thing turns on, sends fluid to the Mishimoto CVT cooler, and sends the fluid back. I think this is actually the best idea after reading all the reviews and everything on which setup you're doing. So if you're a daily driver like myself and then you want to take it to the track or whatever, you have exactly the best of both worlds. So get yourself some high performance, I think it's called Vibrant hoses. It's steel braided with some, looks like carbon fiber fabric on the outside, braided material, whatever. But the thing is, definitely feels a lot more upgraded than the hoses that come with the Mishimoto CVT cooler. So I've already got this lifted. The bumper's gonna come off. Then the top mount intercooler. If you've already swapped out the spark plugs on this car, you've done this job. If you've swapped out the top intercooler, top mount intercooler, you've pretty much done a piece of this job. So it should be fairly easy. So onto the install, and oh, before I forget, don't forget to hit that subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down if you like it, ring that bell so that when you subscribe, you'll get notifications of when I made another video. And this new one, you ready for this one? Comment, comment, comment. I want to hear what you got to say. Also, let me know how you're doing during this whole COVID thing and what parts you're installing and what you're buying. I want to hear from you guys, all right? So let's get on with the install and let's do it. These little clips, these little plastic clips, there's several of them, like 9 on the bottom. Then you got this outside part that you got to unclip, take the whole thing off. The problem is the one clip right here where the tire is pretty freaking brittle, all right? So I've got a tool to pry these off. The regular ones that are on the bottom come off pretty well, but the ones that are near the tire that are holding the plastic frame, and I'll get you a shot underneath, they are so freaking brittle. I touched it with the tool and the top hat part just, it's plastic. It's thin plastic, thinner than this, and it just chopped right off. So before you buy this whole thing, buy a bag of these clips as a precaution. Okay, so now we've already taken off the bumper, we took the top part off. Now we've got to take this part off, this beam right here, that is where I believe the intercooler, or excuse me, the CVT cooler is going to mount to. Either way, we got to take this top part off. And then I'm going to take the top mount intercooler and go from there. So the only thing that's really been taking a long time is, believe it or not, the plastic. Plastic slows you way down. So we got 8 10mm bolts that we gotta take off. So you got 1, 2, and 3, 4 to take off this bracket here. And we also have the wonderful plastic pop clips that we have to take off on top. So I'm just going to take off the plastic top clips first and then go from there. Here we go. All right, so took a little shimmy, but all right, so here we have the stock cooler right there, the stock CVT cooler right here. That cylinder right there, that silver cylinder, this bad boy right here is our stock CVT cooler. This top pipe right here is what we're gonna use, and that bottom right there. So we're gonna disconnect those right there, and we're gonna run it. Now, we have, or I have this Cobb intercooler, and the thermostat that we bought mounts right here where these screws are. So I know how like 50% of you guys, or probably 80% of you guys, have the Cobb intercooler on your WRX. You could just basically mount your thermostat to these 2 screws right here. It'll fit in just fine. That's off of Boosted and Shutter. So thanks to him again. This is gonna be your return pipe, and just below that, this hose is a C. It's all one little piece, and the bottom is your outlet. Make sure you remember that. So the top is your return, the bottom is your outlet. I have the new hose ready to go. So I'm gonna take my tweezers here, and I'm going to basically just disconnect this sucker. You can already smell the CVT fluid. So just warning, caution, make sure you have a rag ready. Get that CVT capped. Okay, so I already have one side of my hose already good to go. So I'm gonna basically take this one step at a time, run my hose underneath my charge pipe and start running the line. And I haven't clipped anything yet because I want to make sure I have everything exactly where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna get that right there. So that is already there. Then I'm gonna take the hose clamp, slide it on through, and that's already there. Awesome. All right. So the bottom one, there we go. Bottom one's gonna be your outlet. Okay, it took a minute for me to finagle it, but I got in there and the little clamp is now disconnected. So, as always, take your time. Ooh, and that CVT fluid is already coming out. I can see that. Always have some paper towels ready. I got some at the ready. You want to take this off your engine as much as possible, because when you start this car up and this stuff starts to cook, I'm pretty sure it's going to smell nice and nasty. As you can see, with this tool, sectional tool or whatever, and some cuss words as usual, I had the camera off. I basically pinched the end of this hose, carefully trying not to mess with the actual metal clip, and just wiggling it out. Right now I don't care about the spillage of the CVT fluid. I've tried wiping as much as possible, but here we go, pulling it out, and there you go. So now I'm gonna run the cable straight to that one, because that one is leaking CVT fluid, and I don't wanna leak any more fluid. By the way, just wanted to tell you guys, earlier, one of the things that I took off to give me some leverage, which you probably guys saw already in that last shot, is this bracket right here. I had to take that off to get more leverage on those hoses. So definitely something you want to think about if you're in my same predicament, which I'm sure you will be and won't be, since I've told you already the secrets of how to get this thing done. All right. Okay, so as I struggle to give you guys a better angle of what we're going through here. So, top hose from the factory outlet, right? The top hose is the return, which is gonna go to the bottom, all right? So that means fluid is going to return, and then this top part, all right? Top part, the outlet is going to be the outlet, yeah. So the outlet hose goes onto the top of the thermostat. So we're gonna swap these, as you already saw. And what I'll do is I'll measure it as best as I can. Another video shows that by putting a zip tie here and using a Dremel helps it out, makes it easier to cut. Let me see about fitting it in there. Boom. It fits, no problem. All right, so that's tight on there. I don't need to make it any tighter. So now I need to cut the other one. Okay, so at this point I've already reinstalled my charge pipe, I've reinstalled my intercooler, mounted everything back in. This part was the most complicated part, so to speak, with making sure the hoses were properly aligned. Now with the CVT cooler, all I have to do is put it on the bracket and then put the hoses after filling this up. So I'll basically run that sucker and show you guys how I do that. But these areas aren't as specific as this one. I can put it on left and right, doesn't matter, it's going to the same place. All right, so sorry for the bad angle, guys, but this is the best way I can do it in my garage. All right, so here we have the CVT cooler prepped, as you can already see. And like I said, I went to the Subaru dealership and got me about a quart of CVT transmission fluid straight from the cow, all right? This is your run-of-the-mill household, you know, $3 thing, measuring cup. So I'm just going to give about 20 ounces right there. So I should have exactly 32. If this is 20, this should be good. That should be good. Okay. And what I want to do is make sure that I have at least one side plugged in. Because once I roll it over, they're all going to be pointing towards the car. Then I'm going to have my 10N wrench, adjustable, tighten that sucker down, make sure we're good to go. Nothing crazy tight, just tight. So there you go, and then we're just gonna tighten this up, and then I'm gonna put the brackets on this cooler. So now, after going over it, yeah, so take a look at the M and the direction of the hose lines, which way I've got them pointed. I'm gonna connect these hose lines now. Okay, so we've got this loop right here completely done, so that's not going anywhere. And then what I'm gonna do is when I get up to the thermostat, that's when I'll make my cuts to make sure that I've got a good length. So as you guys can already see, this is pretty much a tight spot, and I'm gonna give you guys a bird's eye view right here for the time being. So now you can see how I do this. Okay, so now that you can see, here's the Mishimoto cooler, right? And there's the camera with the light. Okay, so the hoses are pointed upward. Right now I just have it that way just so that we can see what we're doing. The brackets, all right, so here you go. The top bracket over here, this is the inward. As you can see my hand, you can see the difference in contrast of color. It's L-shaped, but the flat pack is going backwards. Then we've got these brackets in front, the little L-shaped ones. Those are gonna point forward. If you have it hanging off the front end, right now, and this is gonna flip upside down. So we're gonna take our front bumper frame here that we had up front, all right? This is the front bumper frame, and we're gonna rotate it. And I know you guys can see me over here, and I'm just trying to give you guys a bird's eye view because this can look a little confusing, okay? So we're gonna rotate it, and this is gonna go, that's enough for that right there, but here you go. So this is what's gonna happen. Bumper, this front metal beam, whatever, goes like this, all right, goes like this. We're gonna turn it sideways, or rotate it a little bit, and then what we're gonna have here is, we're gonna keep rotating it about upside down, basically, and then these two little brackets right here will go, and actually now I have to use it. Here you go. All right, so these two little brackets are gonna go from behind it. So as we rotated that metal piece, I'm gonna put the screw here and here, and then you'll see how this L-shaped part goes right there, and I put another screw there. So everything is gonna get aligned perfectly. Okay, so just to give you guys a bird's eye view, now that this metal bracket is installed, these pop clips, I just clipped them back on. That metal lip went right there, puts a pop clip in, pop clip down. Your 8 screws, check it out. These are your screws from your actual Mishimoto intercooler or your CVT cooler, right? Here are your 8 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then your other 4 is gonna be over here. So you got 1, 2, 3, which actually connects to your bracket, that big L bracket. 4 over there. Now, down here, let me get a light for you guys. So, down in here you can see, all right, so you saw the 8 clips, or the 8 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, down in here, gonna see, oops, sorry, I'm in the way. Down here you can see where the hoses run, all right? So you can definitely see where the hoses are running. You can see that. And then it goes in the hole next to the light. So I put the foam back, ran it up the back end here, and now you see the closed loop. All I'm gonna do is make a snip and then basically put it on one on each inlet. Real simple. So after this, I'm gonna turn the engine on, make sure that there are no leaks, that the CVT fluid goes through, and if there are no leaks, I'll put the bumper back on. So the hose clamps are in, they're tight, there's no leaks. I started the car, everything looked good. In the front over here, everything is nice and tight, it felt good. So there you go. So maybe the next video will be me driving on it. This is not a performance increase. I'm not gonna feel the difference. What it is a longevity of my transmission. That's what pretty much everybody says. That's exactly what it's there for, is to keep the temperatures right at the right moment, to keep the CVT fluid cool when it needs to be cool, and basically, again, like I said, longevity of the transmission. So comment below if you have any comments you want to say. Click that subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down if you didn't like it. Comment. Again, thanks to Boost and Shutter for the video. I'll have a link in the description below, and Angel for hooking me up with an awesome price and all the parts. I'm Guzman from Guzman Random Review. See you in the next video.